Hi, friends. Welcome to Chair Yoga, an accessible practice for all bodies. This is especially helpful for those of us who are aging and have a little problem with our wrists, maybe our knees, and it doesn't feel great to be kneeling or putting weight on our hands on the floor. So, we're going to use a chair today to support our practice. So, I invite you to sit back in your chair, and you'll want a chair with a straight back. And I like to bring my feet up onto a firm cushion or a block or something. So it just feels good to my body to have my feet lifted a little. Let's just rest our hands on our legs. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes. Make sure to adjust the volume of this video so you can hear my words well. When you're ready, just start to breathe in and out of your nose. Take a moment to just check in with your body. Are there any new aches or pains today? Maybe old aches or pains, maybe familiar places in the body that give us a little trouble. Just check in with body today. We're going to do a yoga practice with a chair that is going to leave us with a little more energy. Can everyone use a little more energy? So let's start with a breath that is energizing. I'm going to just scoot forward now to the front of my chair and put my feet on the floor. My hands are right here on my knees. I'm going to inhale and pull the chest and belly forward. Deep breath in. And then exhale to round. We'll just do that a few times. Inhale to pull through. Exhale. Really breathe deeply. And then come up to a really tall spine. Gently take one ear to one shoulder, and we'll do half circles in the front. We're going to try to avoid bringing the neck backwards. So just gentle neck stretches here. You can keep your eyes closed, or you can softly keep your eyes open. Bring your head back to center, lift really tall. Let's turn our palms up on our laps. And on the inhale, we're going to open our hands wide. On the exhale, squeeze into fist. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. We're just waking up our hands. And let's roll our wrists. If you are experiencing arthritis, especially in your hands, we use the term motion is lotion. You want to go in both directions. And then let those hands just lightly come to rest on your shoulders. Take one elbow, make a great big circle back, and then the other. Let's just circle the shoulders up and back. Draw an invisible circle with your elbow on the side of the room. And just notice with both shoulders, is there any place in that range of motion that feels a little restricted or sticky? Let's bring both arms out to the sides and down. And again, noticing, is there any difference between right and left shoulder? Any place where there's a little rigid or stickiness or maybe pain? We want to avoid that pain. Let's come up and we'll bring the elbows forward and back. So just warming up our shoulders. And then let's take both in those big circles. This is a great way to wake up every morning. Just get a little bit of motion. Motion is lotion. Placing the hands back on the knees, let's inhale to a little lift and lengthen. Exhale back to neutral. If you have osteoporosis in your spine or your pelvis, you're going to want to do your cat and cow like this. Inhale to pull forward and exhale back to neutral. We want to avoid big spinal flexion if you have that condition. So if you have the go ahead and the green light, you can go ahead and round your back. Otherwise, just keep this movement small. Inhale forward, exhale back. Good, just warming up our spine. Coming to a tall spine, bring your left hand across your body to your right knee. And the right hand is just going to take a hold of some place on the chair. It can be the seat or the back. And then you're just going to turn to look over your shoulder. Breathing deeply into this nice twist. And then we'll switch. Perfect. Come back to center. Sideways bending. So bring your left hand to your shoulder. We're just going to bend over to the right. You can place your hand on the seat of the chair for support, or if you've got like a leg or something you can hold on to. We'll start here. If that feels good to you and you want to go a little further, you can stretch that arm up high. Always listening to our bodies, making sure there's no sharp pain. Let's switch. Start small. Put our feet in the water and then see if we're invited to go farther. And return. Taking our feet out just a little bit wider, still really supported by the chair. Let's do a little bit bigger cow. And then again, back to neutral or cat. Just avoiding that big rounding of the spine if you have osteoporosis. We want to just be careful of our bones, right? So find the range of motion that feels really good to you. And let's come back to neutral spine. Heel toe your feet in. Scoot back again on your chair, and let's bring our heels up onto our block or cushion. We're going to pull our toes back and point our toes down. Flex and point. Finding here how much range of motion you have in your feet. Really try and touch those toes down, pull them up toward your knees. And then let's alternate. One foot on the gas, one foot on the brake. I'm taking a hold of one of your legs. Just hold underneath that leg. I'm interlacing my fingers. Let's do some ankle rolls. And we'll go in both directions. Snap, crackle, pop. You hear that? And switch. Take a hold, interlace, nice big circles. Let's go both ways. And release. Okay, so we've worked our way through the body, through our joints. We're getting ready to stand up and use the chair for support, but I want to offer you first an option to stay seated in your chair. You stay where you are. I'm just going to turn my chair on a little bit of an angle so you can see me sideways. We'll be doing half salutations to start. So the seated version will look like this. Come with me. We'll inhale our arms up. We'll exhale, placing our hands on our legs, and we'll lean forward. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Lean forward again. Reach the arms up and come back in front of your heart. Okay, so you're going to do the same actions just with your hips on a chair. If you're comfortable standing, stand and turn around to face your chair. And we'll do half salutations here. So come back away from your chair just enough that it's there for you. You're going to inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Press hands to the chair, lift halfway, and fold again. Reach your arms high, and come to heart center. We'll do that a couple more times. Half salutations. If it's a better idea for you to stay seated, you're doing these same actions with your hips in your chair. One more time. And hands to heart. Okay, if you are sitting in your chair, you're just going to stay right there, and I'll show you what that will look like. So you're just right here on the edge. You're going to put your hands on your knees, and we're just going to do some calf raises. Okay, so you stay right there. If you are interested in standing, you're going to come to the back of your chair. And we're going to hold on to the chair for support, and we're just going to lift and lower onto our toes. Little calf raises. And you can keep doing that. If you want to try something different, turn your toes out and lift up on your toes. Works our calves at a little different angle. I'm just going to keep looking at my notes, make sure that I do all the things I want to do with you. Turn your toes slightly in. Work those calf muscles in a different way. So this is actually really also helping not only our calf muscles, but our ankles and our feet to be stronger. You might feel those calves fatiguing quickly. And then stepping back a little further, I have a smaller space. Hopefully you have a little bit more space. Hands on the chair, walk back, and give yourself a stretch. If you're still seated in your chair, just folding over your legs and breathing. And then let's slowly come back in. And we're going to do a warrior series, a flowing warrior. So I'm going to show you the seated version first. If you are in your chair, you are going to just take one leg off to the side and one leg in the front. So you're nice and stable on your chair, and we'll just be moving our arms. Okay? So that's going to be your seated warrior. If you are standing, we're going to take one foot forward and one foot back, and our feet are pretty wide. That back foot is turned in just slightly, one hand on the chair. Okay, so let's take a warrior pose. Give myself a little bit more room here. This might be a good place to have a yoga mat underneath you so you don't feel like you're going to slip. Let's inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, come back to warrior two. If you don't need that chair, you're welcome to just take Warrior 2, but it's right there to support you if you need it. It's there for balance. This time, keep your legs straight, bring your arms out, rest a hand on the chair, the other hand comes to your hip. And we're just going to shift our body sideways, coming into triangle pose. So your hand might find a lower rung or the chair, the seat of the chair. The opposite arm can come up. This is triangle pose. It's a really strong and stable yoga pose. Take some deep breaths here, supporting yourself. And then the hand comes to the hip, the knee bends. We'll use our chair to help us come back to center. And then we're just going to switch sides. So your left foot is forward, your right foot is back. And I'm going to switch the chair, but you stay right where you are. I just want to turn so that I'm facing you. So here's our Warrior 2, with or without the chair. Let's inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Inhale up, exhale down. Keeping that leg straight, let's rest one hand on the chair, the other on the hip. The hips shift and we start to lean. Notice how my spine stays straight here, right? See if you can just keep that core strong so your body is straight. Bottom hand wherever it's comfortable, top arm lifting into triangle pose. If this feels stressful to your neck, you can look down at the floor or you can look forward. And then put a bend in the knee, hand to hip. Use the chair to help you back up. And then let's come in to face the back of our chair. One more standing posture right here. We're going to play with our balance a little bit. So standing, let's stand on our left foot first. Turn your right knee out. And you can use your toes on the floor. So foot to ankle. You can use your calf. Either way, just trying to open up that knee. So you can keep your hands on the chair or one hand on the chair and add one branch. And you might just test your balance today, just lifting and lowering, giving yourself a little balance challenge. And that chair is always there to support you. See how that feels. And then we'll switch. Right foot firm, left knee turned out. You can keep the toes down like a little kickstand or come to the lower leg. Try to keep this standing hip, instead of pushing it out, try to keep it hugged in and really firm and strong right there. One hand for balance, one branch, and test yourself. Maybe you're ready for two branches. The sides are going to feel different, right? Really nice. When you're ready, come back to a seat. Come all the way down. And now that our body's a little bit warmer, let's take a block out in front of us. And we're going to rest one of our heels on top of the block. So your body will be forward, closer to the edge of the chair. And we're just going to do hip rotators. We're just going to try to move from the hip as that knee drops out and hugs in. Nice hip rotation. Try to sit as tall as you can, just moving that pinky toe to the floor. If you have had a hip replacement, you might want to just stop before coming way internal. That's the action that's a little contraindicated if you have a hip replacement. So maybe stopping at neutral and just working the muscles to strengthen on that outward rotation. And then let's just reach our fingers down toward the ankle and back up. Just these moving hamstring stretches. And just the touch on your skin is a calming. Give yourself a little leg massage. You can reach your foot up and down, just creating mobility, range of motion. Remember, our goal for today is to have a little more energy when we leave this practice. And then sit nice and tall, switch to your opposite foot. Get that leg nice and straight out there, and then start hip rotations. Your foot is looking kind of like a windshield wiper, but you want the action to come from your hip more than your ankle. Limiting that internal rotation if your doctor has said don't do that. You know who you are. All right, here we go. Hinge from the hips, reach down toward that ankle and back up. Just giving yourself a nice little fingertip leg massage. One more time. And we will keep our foot on the block now, and you're just going to bring that block closer to you. So your knee's a little bit elevated. This opposite foot comes out to the side, and then we're going to come into a forward fold. So let's just listen to our bodies here. This is a deep hip stretch, so we could stop right here with elbows on our thighs. You might see how it feels to bring one hand down. Maybe it's toward the block. And you can see how it feels to bring both hands down toward the block or toward the floor. And then you'll find a place where you're feeling a pretty big stretch in that hip. And it might happen right here with your elbows on your thighs. And then press yourself up, switch that block over to the other foot. The whole foot goes on the block. Lift and lengthen through the spine, and then just lean on your legs. And that might be, okay, I feel that already. That's a hip stretch. Maybe reach your hand down to the block, maybe two hands. And you can just kind of test the waters, maybe one of each, and see what your body allows as you stretch that hip. Coming back upright. All right, the block comes on its lengthened side. Bring both of your heels to the block, and we're going to sit nice and tall. And I actually like to hold on to the seat for this one. I better do this sideways for you. There we go. All right, so heels on the block, tall, tall, tall spine. We're going to do a little bit of core work. All right, don't hate me. All right, one foot up and then the other. It's like you're just marching in place. Really good way. So notice that I'm leaning back just a little bit, but I'm leaning back from my upper body. I'm not rounding back. Okay, so see if you can keep your chest lifted and continue marching. If you are up for a massive challenge today, you could try both feet up. That takes a ton of core strength. Just as an encouragement, my grandmother could do this until she was 90, and then she quit doing it. Got too hard for her cute little 90-year-old body. All right, sit nice and tall. Bring one knee, and you can hold underneath or outside, and just bring one knee up closer to your body. And switch. And then with your feet on the block and your spine tall, come forward to elbows. This is kind of a forward fold. I'd like you to feel what's happening in your lower back. If you do have osteoporosis, I'd like you to stay right here. If your body is giving you a green light, bring your hands to your shins and just let yourself fold over your legs. Breathe in, breathe out, and then gently press yourself back up. Scoot to the back of your chair. Bring your block with you if you like. And we're just going to close our eyes. We're going to rest our hands on our lap and take a few deep breaths. Give yourself a few moments here to rest. Breathing in to feel the sensation of breath coming in through your nose and circling around your brain, giving you lots of mental energy. Breathing out to feel your whole body heavy and relaxed. So sniff in deeply as if you could just bring oxygen right to your brain. And then exhale to let everything relax. One more deep breath in and out. And then just breathing normally. Picturing in your mind something that you would like to have energy for today. Is there a project or a task, a conversation, an enjoyable experience that you're looking forward to? And you'd really like to be awake and alert and have energy for this experience. Visualize yourself in that role. And when you get ready to do that thing, I'd like you to take 5 deep breaths the way we just did, really sniffing air into your brain, letting it circulate, and then exhaling with a sigh. 5 of those breaths gives us more clarity and calmness. Let's bring our hands together in front of our hearts in a gesture of gratitude. Take another moment to thank yourself for being here today, for moving and just being aware of your body and giving it some lotion. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.